Hello everyone, welcome to today's story. This is a fun and exciting mystery about Detective Kevin and a lost lottery ticket. Will he be able to solve the case? Let's find out. Detective Kevin was not a famous detective. He always dreamed of solving big complicated cases, like catching dangerous criminals or finding missing treasures. But in reality, his cases were small. He usually helped people find lost cats, missing trash bins, or sometimes misplaced glasses. One quiet morning, Kevin was sitting in his small office, drinking his usual cup of cheap coffee. He was reading an old newspaper, hoping to find some interesting news. Suddenly, someone knocked on his office door. It was a loud, desperate knock. A middle-aged man entered, sweating and looking very nervous. His clothes were messy and his hands were shaking. He sat down quickly and looked at Kevin with wide eyes. "Detective, my name is Henry. I won the lottery, but my ticket is lost. Please help me." Kevin raised an eyebrow. A lost lottery ticket? This was definitely more interesting than a lost cat. He took a deep breath and asked, "Are you sure it's lost? Maybe it's in your pocket." Henry quickly searched his pockets and then turned them inside out. They were completely empty. "I checked everywhere. It's not here," he said, almost crying. Kevin leaned forward. "All right. Did you drop it somewhere? Maybe you left it at home?" Henry shook his head. "No, someone stole it. I know it." Kevin was interested now. A stolen lottery ticket? This was finally a real case. "Do you have any suspects?" he asked, taking out his notepad. Henry thought for a moment and then raised 3 fingers. "I have 3 suspects." And so, Detective Kevin accepted his biggest case ever. Why? Because Henry promised him a $10,000 reward if he found the ticket. Henry gave Kevin a list of 3 possible suspects. 1. His wife, Alice. Maybe she took it secretly. 2. Tom, the coffee shop owner. He knew I had the ticket. 3. Jake, the apartment janitor. He was watching me all the time. Kevin started his investigation with Alice, Henry's wife. She was in the kitchen, preparing lunch when Kevin arrived. Her arms were crossed, and she looked annoyed. "I don't care about his stupid ticket," she said angrily. "He was eating dinner that night and shouting, 'I am rich, I am rich.' He was so excited that his rice came out of his nose. I told him to be careful, but he didn't listen. But I didn't touch the ticket." Kevin saw that she was really annoyed, so he left quickly. He didn't want to make her angrier. Next, he visited Tom, the coffee shop owner. Tom was cleaning the coffee machine when Kevin walked in. He leaned back and smiled. "Henry showed me his ticket," he said. "He was laughing and saying, 'Look, I am rich.' He put it in his pocket, and then he left. That's all. But I didn't take it." Kevin thought Tom was a little suspicious, but there was no proof. Finally, Kevin met Jake, the apartment janitor. Jake was fixing a broken light in the hallway when Kevin found him. "I heard Henry shouting, 'Where is my ticket?' that night," Jake said. "But I didn't see anyone take it. I don't think it was stolen. Maybe he lost it. Henry always loses things. Last week, he lost his socks in the fridge." Kevin wrote this down. Henry didn't sound very careful. Could it be possible that he lost the ticket himself? That night, Kevin decided to search Henry's house for clues. He walked around the small living room, checking every corner. He looked under the table, behind the sofa, and even inside the bookshelf. But he found nothing. Then he checked the dining area. He carefully moved the chairs and looked under the table. And suddenly, he felt something under his foot. He bent down and picked it up. It was a small, crumpled piece of paper. His eyes widened. It was Henry's winning lottery ticket. But why was it on the floor? At that moment, the lights turned on. Henry and Alice were standing in the doorway. Henry was surprised. "Detective, why are you in my house?" Kevin held up the ticket. "Your ticket was under the carpet." Alice sighed loudly and crossed her arms. That night, Henry was eating dinner and dropped the ticket on the floor. "I was angry because he was making a mess, so I put it under the carpet. Then I forgot about it." Kevin was shocked. Henry lost his own ticket. Henry stared at the ticket for a moment. Then suddenly, he started laughing loudly. "Ha ha! I lost it myself." Kevin sighed. "You made me search for nothing." Henry didn't care. He was too happy. He had his lottery ticket back. And he kept his promise. The next day, Kevin received a large envelope. Inside was $10,000 in cash. Detective Kevin was rich for the first time in his life, but he had one question. Maybe I chose the wrong job. If I was unlucky like Henry, would I be richer? And so, Kevin laughed, put his money in his pocket, and went back to drinking his cheap coffee. Maybe one day he would finally get a real case. And that's the end of our story. Did you enjoy it? What do you think about Detective Kevin and his adventure? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun stories. See you next time.